Chapter 3. Merle tucks me into bed. I go along with her, as compliant as a rag doll. She carries my suitcase to an upstairs bedroom, helps me pull out my pajamas, and helps me slip them on. I don't care that this stranger sees me half naked. Don't care that she's treating me like a 5-year-old. My brain doesn't start functioning again until she's pulled the down comforter up to my chin and turned out the light and murmured, "Things will look better in the morning. They always do." Then, when I'm lying there, wide awake in the darkness, some tiny, tiny part of my mind comes alert again to goad me. You're overreacting. Except I'm not. It'd be one thing if my parents were like the adults I'd seen, dropping their kids off late for school, or smacking their toddlers in the grocery store, or growling at their teenagers in the mall. Stop bugging me. If I belonged to any of those parents, I wouldn't be all that surprised to be foisted off on a stranger in the middle of nowhere with no way to reach my mom and dad. Okay, maybe I'd be surprised, even then. It's just a million times worse because my parents are the most careful, overprotective, parentish people I've ever seen. Even when I was little, they never hired a babysitter for me. When I was 4 or 5, probably 5, after I'd watched Gretchen Dunlap across the street go off to kindergarten while I was being homeschooled, I somehow got wind of the fact that the other kids sometimes had babysitters who let them jump on the couch cushions and eat all the cookies they wanted to and even go to bed without brushing their teeth. I wanted that too. So I asked my parents for a babysitter of my own. I remember my parents looking sad, disappointed, maybe even hurt. Then my mother bent down on her knees in front of me and said, "Oh, honey, why would we want to spend even a second away from our baby? You don't need a sitter. You've got us. All the time. Always. Forever." She even agreed to let me jump on the couch and eat too many cookies and skip brushing my teeth every once in a while. But somehow I knew it wasn't the same. And when my parents take me to the mall, they don't go to the boring stores and make me sit and wait while they pick out vacuum cleaners or refrigerators or ties or anything for themselves. They sing out, "This shopping trip is all about you." And even when we're loaded down with bags of jeans for me and sweaters for me and new DVDs for me, they still beg, "Isn't there anything else you want us to buy?" The last time we went on one of those shopping trips, I spent the whole time whining, "You're embarrassing me," and "Stop being so loud," and nobody else I know has to stick with their parents the whole time at the mall. Guilt surges through me as I'm lying there in the bed in Merle's house. It feels like the ceiling has opened up and a huge bolt of guilt lightning has zapped me. Oh no, what if my parents know how ungrateful I am, and this is their way of teaching me a lesson? I close my eyes and I can hear voices echoing in my head. Gretchen Dunlap from across the street telling me, "My mom says you're the most spoiled kid she's ever seen, so there." When we were 5 or 6, and my snarling mom, "You're driving me crazy, just leave me alone," after she'd offered to braid my hair when I was nervous about a swim meet. That was before she started crying. I tell myself I wasn't mean to her after she started crying. Why would they drop me off in this strange place and then vanish now? And then I feel almost disappointed because my parents doing this to teach me a lesson would be strange, but sort of understandable. Without that explanation, I've got nothing. Maybe none of this has anything to do with me, I think. And that's a big leap for me. My parents have spent my entire life telling me how important I am, how much they love me, how everything in their lives revolves around me. Maybe things changed, I think. Maybe now I'm just in the way. I swallow a lump in my throat, but I can't believe this explanation either. Even a long, long time ago, before she became a permanent fountain of tears, I can remember my mother looking at me and starting to cry, just out of the blue. In the past several months, my father has seemed much more worried about me than my mother. It's my seatbelt he double checks every morning when they drive me to school. It's me he follows in the car when I'm out rollerblading around the neighborhood, which is why I pretty much stopped rollerblading around the neighborhood. Then there's the way Merle reacted when she saw me. She was so happy at first, and then it seemed like it broke her heart just to look at me. Why, I think. Why? It's that word that carries me off to sleep. a lullaby of curiosity and loneliness and fear.